What's up, Fun with Dumb listeners? We just dropped our Patreon. You can check us out at patreon.com/funwithdumb. We drop our episodes 24 hours earlier. We have tons of bonus content, a lot of fun stuff we're doing. So if you've been listening for years and have been wanting a way to support, because this podcast is free for the most part. We don't even have merch or anything, but if you want to support, go sign up for our Patreon. We have a $5 tier and a $10 tier for the hardcore fans. So check us out, patreon.com/funwithdumb. We got the amazing, one of my favorite comics right now, Leslie Lau.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello. It's an honor to be here.
Really?
And I mean that.
Why
And
is
I
it
mean
an
that.
honor?
It's nice, because I forget that, because I quit my day job
Congratulations.
a month ago. Thank you. And this is my new life that I love,
Yeah.
do a podcast,
Yeah.
go get coffee. You know what I
True.
mean? Like, write a little bit in the day. So this is an honor.
Yeah, I mean, you told, what job did you have before?
It was like a weird, it was at Netflix actually.
At Netflix.
And it was a weird niche, like job that had to be in HR
Okay.
by default.
Okay.
It was a sad life. I'm not knocking, I don't
No,
want to
no,
knock
no.
the company, but
Yeah,
like,
you're not pursuing your passion while you're working there
yeah.
full time, I mean.
And and some people knew it, but yeah, in the daytime I was really like, you have to kind of act different at a day job.
Of course.
Have you ever had a day job?
Back in the day, I mean, I was able to pursue music full time when I was doing music around 22. So
Age 22?
Age 22. I'm
Yeah.
38 now.
That's when you have a lot of hustle though. When you're 22,
I know.
we don't drink coffee when you're 22.
It's easier to pursue your dream at that age though, because
Yeah.
if you fail, you can go back to your entry level job.
You have all this time.
Like you had a legit job.
I had a legit job and I started at 29, 30.
Yeah.
So the pressure was on. I was like, this can't be a cute little hobby.
Yeah, for
I have
sure.
to for real do this. So, because also when you're younger, you have all this energy, but like you don't really get sleepy.
Mm,
I don't remember ever being sleepy.
yeah, I
At
get you.
22.
Yeah, but it's weird. You get really old and then you wake up extra early. Because I remember my grandparents and stuff like waking up like 5 a.m. doing walks around the block.
Dude, my parents, they're in their 70s. They wake up so early, like 5.
Yeah.
They go to bed sometimes at like 11. They just are up watching TV, cleaning. And my mom like just wakes up and they're awake. And I asked my mom like, why can't you just go sleep in? Like you're retired.
True.
Enjoy your life.
Mhm.
And she's like, old people just wake up. And she just said, like, so old people just wake up really early and just like stare at the sky.
Yeah.
They have like 4 meals a day just because they're awake.
I wonder how time moves for anybody 60 and up or, around that age range.
Well, I feel like, I can't wait to retire because it sounds really nice.
Mm-hmm.
But they legit get bored because it's like if you hustle your whole life and then all of a sudden it stops.
Yeah.
I think their bodies just wake up and then they eat breakfast at like 5 a.m.
And then you got so many hours left. Like, wait, do they watch like TV?
They love YouTube. They don't know how to use their TV. So they just watch YouTube, but they don't know how to look things up
Yeah.
properly on YouTube. So you know how YouTube has like, a suggested video for you to play after you watch a Fun with Dumb clip.
Yeah.
They just follow the algorithm.
Yeah.
So whatever YouTube feeds them, they just sit there and watch it. And I think one time YouTube fed them one of my stand-up clips, but they didn't watch it. They were like, skip. I was like, okay.
I want to see where the algorithm leads them from your clip to
I don't know.
the
Who
end
knows?
of the day.
Like QAnon, who knows? Who knows how far it goes?
You actually had a little part in a Netflix comedians
Yeah.
show or something, right?
Yeah, it was came out a couple months ago, but it's like not an hour special, but like
Yeah.
10 comics with 10-minute sets.
Mm-hmm.
And it was and I filmed that while I worked at Netflix.
Wow. And while you were working there, did you have any generals with Netflix people? Like, are you even allowed to do that?
I'm gonna say it's frowned upon.
Yeah.
I worked there for 6 years, and one or two people on the stand-up team knew me from work.
Yeah.
Like our jobs intersected. They knew I did stand-up, and we left it at that.
Mm.
I never like hardcore invited them to see me, but everyone at Netflix, it's like a big tech company, so people just meet.
Mhm.
All people do is meet and
Yeah.
just sit there and meet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like just like meet. So I would say it's highly frowned upon if, as an employee, like leveraging to like meet someone to have a general.
Right.
But then like slowly last year, more people were finding out, and then I took vacation time to film the Netflix
Mhm.
special in the fall.
I wonder sometimes, like, when it is appropriate, like in Korean culture, we have this thing called nunchi, where you just have social awareness in settings where just conduct yourself, have
I
have good
love
behavior,
that.
But like if I was working at Netflix, I wouldn't be like trying to pitch my,
You'd have
script
professional
or
nunchi.
anything. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but I also like the other side of things where you hear these stories of like an artist waiting outside of Jay-Z's crib with a demo tape and then finally gets it to him and he signs him and becomes a star.
Did that ever happen?
Yeah, it happened to J. Cole.
Oh, Jesus, I
Yeah,
know nothing.
It's a real story, yeah.
Oh, for real?
So J. Cole waited out in the rain with the demo until Jay-Z drove out. He gave him the demo tape and he signed him.
But Jay-Z listened to it?
Yeah, he listened to it.
Holy
I don't know the full story, but I think that's how it
I
went.
did not know that story. Because if I was Jay-Z, like I would definitely ignore.
Yeah.
Because I respect.
You would ignore J. Cole's mixtape.
And then no one would get to experience
Yeah.
J. Cole. I'd
Yeah,
be such
yeah.
a selfish, tired.
So
like,
you're
producer.
saying you, as a CEO or a head of a business or something, if someone approached you at like an aspiring artist or something, you probably wouldn't give them a chance.
I think I relate to the nunchi.
Yeah.
I love rules, and I respect authority, and I respect rules. Maybe it's an Asian thing, I don't know. But I very much respect proper channels. So I wouldn't do that to Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Because I would assume Jay-Z is like, who are you? Like, what? Like, I want, my method was like be so good that, because you know how people just talk about like content, like what show they watched last night, and that makes it, that show title makes its way to the dinner table
Yeah.
or to the bar or your date or whatever. So I was like, I got to get so good that my name travels to rooms I'm not in.
Got you.
So I would rather do that than just stand somewhere with my demo, like my comedy demo. But I think I have too much nunchi, where I respect the process.
Do you feel like that's shortcuts or cutting in a way?
No, actually. I think it's a little, let's call it creative,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's a shortcut.
Yeah, because it's interesting because you're like, you say I respect proper channels.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people, they feel like the proper channels don't work for them.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair though.
Yeah.
Like I get that. It's fair.
Yeah.
If it's not working for you and you are as good as J. Cole and are like, whatever, I know where also he just knew where Jay-Z lives. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool, actually. Like, it's kind of romantic, actually. But
Do you feel like your career, you've gone through the proper channels and it kind of worked gradually? It took time, but it kind of worked the way it was supposed to, you think?
it worked the way I planned.
Really?
I just wanted to, because even my mantra still now is like, I just want to be a good stand-up. And I leave it at that. Because people go like, I'm sure you have goals, like maybe career goals. I don't have a lot. Like I don't have a lot of
Yeah.
like actual goals. I think it'd be cool to win an award. It'd be cool to have specials and play at MSG or whatever. But my only goal ever was like just be a really good stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
Just be a really good stand-up. Because you're probably not gonna get the specials at whatever streaming thing, or like, I don't know, win a Golden Globe, or like that. It might not happen.
Right.
So just don't wish for it.
Well, you're focusing on what you have control over, which is the one thing
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
do is just keep writing jokes and perfecting them.
And I love control.
Yeah.
So that's all I can do is just like write an okay joke, have a good set. Like, yeah.
I feel like when you played my Comedy Monthly, I did see you pull up with a notebook that had tabs on it. I think there were tabs.
I'm
if
so
I'm
Asian. I
not
know.
mistaken. You seemed very organized. You know
You're
what I
acting like I brought like a 3-ring binder and like
I
a
think so.
calculator.
Yeah, it was like you look like you're going to night school.
So people make fun of me because I am very like, I love comics, and it's such a fun benefit of doing this that you just get to meet people and like
Hmm.
be buddies and work together. But I never do a comedy show to hang out with people. Like I like I'm there to just go do the show, and it's a benefit that all of us are there. And I go, oh hey, I get to say hi to
Yeah.
like Jason Cheney. Like it's fun. But I do like I always have to write my set in my notebook just to visually see it.
Yeah.
Cause like it's hard to memorize. It's like memorizing your own lines. So I
Hmm.
always do that.
Hmm.
But
Are you really organized with your bits?
mostly or organized where like the way I write, you would make fun of it. It's like it's all on my computer, and I have columns
Yeah.
and categories and sections because I'm
Hmm.
very visual. So there's columns of this is the premise, and then this is the part where I make it funny, and then I have categories, and then I have categories of like development. Like this is uh like a 80% finished joke, and this one is only 60%. So I categorize
I
it
would say
by
that's pretty organized. That's very organized.
I'm like trying to play it cool, like, no, I'm not organized. I just have spreadsheets.
Yeah, exactly. That's hella
But
organized. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
then when you go on stage, that all kind of goes out the window.
Mm,
So it's the control part.
right.
It's the illusion. Me writing my little bits in my notebook is the illusion. I'm telling myself like this is your set that you're gonna say.
Yeah.
But when you go up there, it never goes as planned.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, I recently, I mean, just going through some of your clips, there's a lot of material about you being in your 30s now,
mhm.
and reminiscing about the 20s and how different the 20s were. Do you feel like right now at your age is the moment where you were able to finally kind of have those observations? Because I feel like there was a certain age that happened to me where I'm like, now I can talk about it because I'm not
Like you
like
felt a
really
little
in it.
wise.
Like I didn't feel like I was in it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like when you're in it, you don't even
No,
think
you don't
about it.
even
You
think
don't
about anything.
separate that, you know?
I know. You're like, life rules. I can do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, I think 100%. I'm gonna be 37 on Monday.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
we're
it's
close. I just turned 38.
oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
We're what are we? Pisces?
I was the last day of Aquarius, so I'm on the cusp.
Oh, sick.
And I
Okay,
hate saying
that's
that word, but
uh,
cusp. Yeah.
but I do think the reason I started stand up so late at like 29, 30 is because I finally felt like I had the right to feel wise.
Mm,
Because in my 20s I was not wise.
yeah.
But a lot of people start stand up young
Yeah.
and like young, like 20. And
I still can't believe that when I hear people's stories of them starting at that age, because
yeah.
I feel like you, venturing into comedy, I was around that same age too, like later
you were too?
20s, early
Yeah.
30s, mainly because I grew up in the hip hop space and I wasn't as self-deprecating with that genre of art. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm more braggadocio. I'm gassing myself up. I'm not like destroying myself and,
Yeah.
and clowning myself, being self-deprecating, you know?
Yeah.
So feeling comfortable with doing that and making fun of myself.
Dude, you could do a joke about that. About like what would it be if you blended your stand-up voice with being a rapper? So like what is a self-deprecating rap verse? Like
I mean, it would
you
just
know
be
what
Lil Dicky and Dave, you know what I mean?
Oh, damn, yeah. Yeah.
You're like, actually,
a
that
little
show's been done.
a very successful example
Yeah,
of that.
exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're saying in your late 20s, early 30s is when
Mhm.
that comfortability with yourself and those observational
Yeah.
moments
Because
came.
like when you turn 30, you're finally like, oh, I have a whole life a whole adult life to look back to. So then
Mm.
when I was 30, I was like, okay, what am I all about? And then I looked backwards at my 20s, and it was just ripe for observation. Because I just didn't feel like I wish I started earlier only to be a better performer, but like writing wise, I wouldn't have anything like as insightful to say as I would wish. But then at 30, I was just like, oh my God, like I was able to psychoanalyze myself
Yeah.
easier,
Yeah.
sadly. Cause yeah, like in your 20s, you're like happy and confident, and like kind of confident, like too dumb to be self-deprecating, and everything's easier, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of comic I would have been at in my 20s.
But do you think with these observational skills you have, it feels like overthinking things that maybe should be easy, like dating and things, right?
Mhm.
Because you're able to, like, the way you have your bits, you're observing everything and the difficulty it is and why it's difficult and all that.
Yeah.
We're not even thinking about that in the 20s. You just
No,
have
I clearly wasn't. I clearly wasn't. Because everything, when you look back at your 20s, like everything you were like, you say to yourself is, what were you thinking, dude?
yeah,
You weren't. So
Yeah, it's
we
true.
weren't. So when I look back at it, I'm like, oh my God, like what?
yeah,
Like, why did I do half the things? But I think it's true. Like I had to have a body of 10 years of life to look back at and think about and observe.
yeah.
But no, no regrets.
Yeah, I mean, you've gone through the modern day of dating. It seems like from all the bits that I've been seeing, you do apps and
Yeah.
everything.
I did all the apps. You don't do the apps?
I do. I'm on every app.
So I like how you say that with a little
Every
pride.
single one. Yeah.
I did them all except for Raya. I think I maybe one of my friends gave me a code or something, but I never did Raya. But yeah, dude, I did the apps like since I remember like when Tinder first opened.
Mhm.
Like remember the first day Facebook opened?
Yeah.
Like it's a store. I don't know what came online.
You're waiting first in line to download the app like a
At the
Supreme drop. Just
like all these single people in line, like but I remember like being around when Tinder started, and me and all my friends did that. So like I was there for this. We kind of have a cool age because we were there for the start of like
Mhm.
MySpace,
Yep.
Instagram, Tinder. So we like adapted quickly.
Every
To the
different
new-
format and from analog to digital.
Yeah,
we caught it
dude.
all.
But I don't know. It didn't. It worked. Like I met a lot of people, but it's just not. It's not romantic. The dating apps. It's the only bummer.
You
And
don't
a
think
lot-
it's romantic?
No.
Okay. What was romantic back in the day? That wasn't the dating apps, though.
I mean, like seeing someone from afar and like
Okay.
lusting for them, having a crush on a coworker,
Right.
and like a secret crush, and then you guys kind of like get to know each other in like an organic setting
Yeah.
rather than the transaction of I'm ordering a date from an app,
Yeah.
from a website.
And not
I'm-
having that many options too was exciting back then.
It
I
was
think.
exciting. Yeah.
Now there's like
A lot
not
of
not saying we have access to this whole pool, but you just see too many and you
Mhm.
can't decide and you just plant your seeds in every DM.
So I have a joke about this, but you know how you can put a radius on your dating apps?
Yeah.
Of like, these are the people I'm willing to go to Santa Monica or like only West Hollywood or whatever. So I wanted to see all my options because I want to be efficient. Like,
Yeah.
where's my guy at? So I put like the maximum distance.
What is the maximum?
I don't even know. It's like 100 miles.
Okay.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
And every time I say that, people laugh at me. And I'm like, what? Okay, so I want to ask you if you know. Do you know what you have for your.
I think it's I try to keep it local. So it's
How
usually
local?
like a 3-mile radius. Yeah.
3 miles?
I just Koreatown. This is
Dude,
right here.
dude. Okay, so I did meet my now boyfriend on Hinge,
Okay.
and he put 5 miles, and I thought that was low.
5 miles. That's pretty low.
Because
How far is
3
5
miles,
5 miles is like, yeah, it's like not even here to Santa Monica, right? Or
no.
yeah.
So you wouldn't drive 4 miles?
No, I would. I mean, anything past 10 freeway exits, I'm like, oh God, it's a little.
And this is what I'm saying about pre-dating apps.
Yeah.
People dated, you know what I mean? Like people went to war and fell in love with someone in another country and brought them back and all this stuff. And now we're all like on these apps, putting 3 miles.
You want it to be delivered to you like Postmates almost.
You want that because you're using your apps like Postmates.
No, yeah, I'm saying most people, that's kind of, they want the convenience of it all. But where you found your guy, where was your guy at?
He lives in Koreatown.
You found him around here.
So he lives in Koreatown and I live in Hancock Park, and he had 5 miles. So we live 2 miles away.
You could have just
and
put 3-mile radius. You would've found
He
him.
tells me that every day. Because I give him and he's like, who was right though? Who was right though?
That's hilarious.
And he was right. But and I love convenience.
Mm.
Like I love convenience. Our generation is like like accustomed to it. But when you add convenience to love,
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's all about like effort and sweat.
Yeah. There's no effort in that relationship though. Hancock Park to
No,
Koreatown.
not a lot.
You know,
I could walk to his place from here if I want.
I think if I met a girl that is cool, I like, and we start dating, and they live really close, it does make it a little
Could be
bit too intense
dangerous.
quickly, I feel.
Because she would say, or you, why can't you hang out today?
Exactly.
You could walk here.
Yeah, I saw
What are
your
you
lights.
doing?
They're on.
Yeah, what do you I could see your bedroom from here. What are you so busy doing right now?
Yeah.
You're doing a podcast again? Really? Like, so there's danger to it, but I get nervous if you add convenience to love. It makes
Yeah.
me kind of sad.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
how do you write a love song about, you know, a convenient
Yeah.
walk to someone? But it is cute because now he does surprise me and just will like walk to my place sometimes, like on a
That's
on a
cool.
weekend. And
How
with
long
his
you been dating this guy?
It has been since September. So now mine is September 5.
It's going well.
So it's still early stages, but in late 30s,
Yeah.
mid to late 30s,
It
we
didn't-
all know ourselves
Got you.
at that time. So I think it's like moving faster than I'm used to. But then again, I've never been 36 dating someone.
And are you dating with like purpose? Like this, what you had purpose when you met this guy?
Everything I do is with purpose. I'm all about
I love that.
everything. Except the socks I wore today to your home. Don't show them.
Yeah, we're not
Don't
gonna
sabotage
show it,
me.
But if we'll just describe them, they're like third
Don't.
world. They're third world Asian socks.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I was going to an Asian household
Yeah.
where shoes are off, which obviously I support, but I forgot. But yeah, purpose. Like everything has a reason.
What are some things you tell dudes right on the first date? Like, this is what I'm looking for. If you're not down for this, then it's not happening.
Well, that's why I do like the apps, because all that stuff is on your profile.
True.
If you choose to put it.
Right.
So it actually gets all that unsexy stuff out of the way, like politics, religion, do you want kids, job, whatever. So all those stats it's kind of like a little
Yeah.
baseball card, a little.
Mhm.
It just has all your stats. But on a date, it's like, I do want to make sure he's like silly.
Mm,
So that's what the date is for.
yeah.
I don't like someone very serious. So it's like I want someone who's silly and
You want someone who could riff with you?
yeah.
You need a good riffer.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a smart way of putting it. Everyone calls it, I think white people say banter.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But you
That's
know-
true. I guess that is the word I was looking
I just
for.
want someone to banter with on Christmas Eve.
I
It's
was
like,
looking for
okay.
banter, but
no.
I went to riff.
Riff.
Okay.
Someone to like freestyle with.
Mm-hmm.
And it like there's a good flow. So I think we did that. Like he's but dates aren't I think have too much purpose. Like a date is there's too much purpose to it. So I think like if you just make it more casual and silly
Yeah.
and low stakes somehow, like that's the way to do it. But I don't know. I got lucky with this guy. He's a good silly boy.
Well, I got to ask you because we're actually in our late 30s now. So are you looking forward to your 40s?
Dude, I am.
Yeah.
I'm excited to turn 40.
Me too.
Did you care about your birthday this year?
I didn't.
Me
I think
neither.
I'm saving it for the big 40th
Me
one.
too.
Yeah, that 40 one.
Are you already
40th.
planning your 40th?
I was planning it with my boy because we usually throw like he'll have like big birthday
Joint
things.
birthday?
We're like, yeah, because our birthdays are close and we're the same age, and we're like, we got to have a 40th party with like people roasting
yes.
us, and
That's
like-
what you want to do. Wait, what?
like we want to roast, like a Comedy Central roast
Okay,
of us.
okay,
I think that'd be
okay.
good. It's a celebration.
If it's your vibe, that's great.
Mhm.
But like, I'm all for going big for your 40th.
Yeah,
For this year, I'm like 37. Like, who cares? But I wanna get older because I've met women at shows in their 40s, and I talk a lot in my set about like, it's nice to grow older and mature, and you just stop caring. Which I
Mhm.
think there's a fine line between being confident and not caring. Like, are you confident or are you just like kind of like I give up? I don't care
Right.
what people say about me. Maybe it's both. But women in their 40s come up to me and they're like, it gets better. It gets better. I'm like, oh, really? Like, why? They're like, you just stop giving a about everything, about all of it. I was like, what the hell? Like, about
Yeah.
your life?
yeah. You want to give a,
I give a little bit of a I
Yeah.
wanna, yeah. But it's gonna be nice. Like, you can just like do what you want, hang out with who you want. You can make excuses like I'm getting older, my time is precious,
Yeah.
so you can get more choosy.
Can you be in entertainment and fully not give a though? It feels like it is a
I don't
business
know.
depending
Yeah,
on like just the general public and their fandom and
I
you being
know.
relevant.
You kind of have to do a degree maybe,
Yeah.
because so much of it hinges on like your audience or your crowd or your following.
Yeah.
So like it is interesting. Like there was the rapper who didn't she say like her fans are like, why don't you say you love us? And she said something like, I don't have to love you. I don't know you
Was
personally.
that Doja Cat or something? Or no?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm getting like an old lady where I only
Oh, okay.
half know pop culture. I just said there's a line for Facebook when it opens. Like
Yeah.
yeah, maybe it was her. But she was kind of like, I don't know you. I don't have to say I love you.
Mm.
You're a fan and you're whatever. So I'm maybe paraphrasing.
I kind of respect that though. I love
I
having
know.
boundaries as an artist. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, I got involved in this industry really young, and I was all about fan service and outsourcing and
Saying yes to everything.
Yeah, yes to everything,
Yeah.
talking to fans all the time, and I can't say I always enjoyed it too. I just felt like something I had to do.
Yeah.
But right now, I just don't feel like I want to do it all the time, and it should be okay with
Yeah.
everyone. You know?
I think that's what happens when you get older. Because you're allowed to just do that and like not care. But then I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. Like my parents.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
time do you wake up every day?
I wake up at 7.
That's early.
I know, because I work out. I do cold plunges. I've been
Oh,
sober
bro.
I've been sober for a year. You
Yeah.
know, my life changed when I went sober.
Totally.
Like literally, right a year ago, up to that point in my life, I was getting up like every other night. You know what I mean? So I was a mess, and then but I was like a functioning drug addict and alcoholic. You know?
Yeah.
Like I still had a pod. Like I was
Yeah.
out here every week, never late. You know what I mean?
Because you live in your studio.
That's true.
Of course you shouldn't be late.
That
dude.
is why. Yes.
If you were late, your producer should fire you. If you don't make it to across the hall
This is true. This is true.
by 5 p.m.
This is inside my crib, so there's no reason for that. But yeah, I mean, I was very functional. I mean, that's why I always tell friends, like, there's no excuse, like if you're trying to do this, you'll make it. There's also rock stars we know that are known to be crazy party animals and stuff. And they had a full career where they were touring and stuff.
I know, but like some people can function, but really, because when we were talking about purpose, I cut out drinking. I'm not sober, but I just cut it down hardcore when I started comedy because I looked at my comedy at the time hobby that I wanted it to become a career.
Yeah.
And I looked at my organized spreadsheet and my calendar.
Yeah.
And I asked myself what activities would contribute to me being a better comic and what would hold me back. Drinking does not contribute.
No, I agree.
So I was like, I cannot justify how that helps me be a better comic. So I'm going to delete that, like significantly delete it.
Yeah.
And only drink for a purpose, which is like a music festival or a wedding. And other than that, like try not to, but like I'm trying, yeah, maybe like I purposefully drink now.
Did you ever see like dating or going out on dates as something that might affect your comedy career or not? You always saw that as like a plus. Maybe I'll find a partner that supports me.
At the time, like I was single for a lot of like my like 20s and like early 30s. I was like on and off between things. When I was single, like I tried to take advantage of all that time and I put it all into comedy. So I think I actually, for your question, it's the other way around. I think my comedy got in the way of me finding someone because I had so much fun and success writing about being single that I started to maybe subconsciously be like, just keep being single. Like this is entertainment.
It's working.
It's working. I'm getting booked every night. And then you have shows every night, which is when you would normal humans go on a date.
Yeah.
But instead of that, we have a show. So like I justified my single life and parlayed that into like, oh, then this means you have like time and energy to be a comic. So I think it was the other way around. So luckily, like I did always want to like meet someone eventually, but it's all about like the right person who respects your career and life, which like it was hard for me to find that in my 30s.
Got you. When you were like doing that transition from like a full-time career to making this a full-time career for quitting your Netflix job? What was the thing? Because I mean, you were doing both, but was it like finally I'm making enough money to transition? Was that the big thing, or
It
what?
was all money.
It was all money
It was
related.
all money. Like the only reason, and I'm probably not the only one who thinks this, that I had a job was for money. Like there was no, I wasn't like passionate. Like it was just like I needed to make money. I needed to pay like my bills. So the second I felt like I could sustain any type of living from
Yeah,
comedy, like the second I saw the consistency, I was like, I gotta get out.
yeah,
And also like my my bosses at my job were kind of like joking with me, but they were serious. They were like, why do you still work here, dude? They're like, you're on Netflix.
yeah.
Like the Netflix thing was released as I was an employee there.
Hmm.
So they were like,
That is wild.
it's like they were like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I need to pay. LA's expensive, honey.
Yeah.
Like, how much do you think I make doing my little spots around
Right.
LA?"
I don't think fame and just being on a TV show equates to money.
It does not.
Yeah,
It does not. Like, you don't know what people are making for these little appearances,
for
whatever.
sure.
Like, it's so I just waited until like I was able to book a tour.
Yeah.
And if you book a tour at like a cool club or something, like you could make something decent. And then so it was just money.
I always feel like it's such magic when you're able to transition into your craft full time.
Yeah,
I don't know how it happens, what kind of confidence you get where you're like, I can quit this job
I know.
because this money is steady.
Yeah.
Because it's not a company you're working under. They're not, you can't
You're
expect
the company.
yeah, you can't expect
know.
a salary every month, but somehow you know it's gonna come from somewhere.
Mhm.
And it gives you enough confidence to be like, okay, I can do this full time. And it feels like magic to me when that happens. I don't know.
It is very magical, but now I do have the fear and the drive of like now I have to make money doing this.
Yeah.
Like now I don't have a choice. But I never could do the starving artist thing.
Mm.
Like just only bank everything on your art and like pick up little tiny jobs here and there, but like I could never do that. Like I was always raised and conditioned to just have a full-time job.
Yeah.
So I always had a full-time job. And then like really now it's the fear of like you don't got a choice. I have to make this work.
Yeah. I agree. I think if somebody asked me for advice in that department, I wouldn't tell them to quit a job.
No. One time I had, I have like early people, someone once asked me like, "Hey, how do you get paid for these shows? Like I do all these shows around town. I can't do these for free. How do I get paid?" And I'm like, "Do you think your comedy is worth paying for?"
Yeah.
Like, don't you think you should just write a really good joke and focus on that? Like, of course, like I don't know about you, but I didn't start comedy for money.
Mm-hmm.
Like years ago, I wasn't like, I'm gonna go make money
Yeah.
at this open mic, right? Like I wasn't making any money. I was paying to get stage time.
I do think a lot of younger generation are thinking about creating content or anything entertainment wise for the sake of money or numbers of some sort. It is a little bit different now. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are purists and who do care about the craft, but
Yeah.
when people say I want to become a content creator, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Wait, if we're going philosophical, is it art if you're only doing it for money?
Only doing it for money. No, I think you have to care about what you're saying.
I know.
You have to
right?
care about that. And it's fine. You can have both, you can want money and care about what you're saying. But
That's
if it's
me,
just
yeah.
for the sake of money, I don't think it's art.
So then what are people doing then? Like making stuff for money. I do love money though.
Yeah.
It's
I don't
great.
blame people either because they know what works. All you got to do is go on Instagram and you know what works for views.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cheat code,
Oh God. It makes me sad. Like anytime like we all like it, conversations with comics, it just organically like directs to just the algorithm. I always get so sad.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in it for an algorithm.
I don't want to do that, but it'd be nice to pursue what I love in my craft and doing comedy and music, and maybe like put like 10 grandmas on payroll to do TikTok dances or something, you know?
Did you say 10 grandmas?
10, but yeah, like get 10 grandmas.
trending right
build
now?
out 10 like elderly TikTok accounts where they're, you know, that's going to get views. You know what I mean?
Wait, is that a thing that's happening right now? on
I'm
TikTok?
just saying, grandmas on TikTok is guaranteed views.
Well, I mean, an Asian grandma, yeah.
That's
like how
true.
adorable. Yeah, that's a good idea.
When people think, like when you close your eyes and think grandmas on TikTok, you automatically think Asian.
grandma, yeah,
There's
yeah.
no doubt.
I like it like a sassy. I had a sassy grandma when I was driving here. You know, I stopped at the intersection and she had the right of way. She's a pedestrian, but she, you know, she probably thought it was more efficient for me to drive. So she did a very sassy, like, she's a cute little old Asian grandma. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, that's gonna be me one day. I aspire to just be like,
I could see that, but you seem more like a chill, kind of wise grandma.
oh, that's nice.
You know what I mean?
I think I'm different versions. Like my organization is not chill, but I think because I'm a SoCal girl, I think I'm pretty like don't let it stress.
Yeah.
Inside I'm all stress, but outside I'm like nah, like we're good.
Yeah, I think it's your voice. It has that chill voice. You know?
I do. You know what? I love my voice, but I get annoyed because I know that it kind of can put you to sleep.
It is calming.
It's very calm.
I'm so I just felt like I just cold plunged. Came out of a cold plunge.
Wait, but is that what a cold plunge makes you feel? Relaxed?
I think afterwards.
No way.
But when you're in there, you do have to relax to be able to stay in there for longer, you know?
Wow, it's so counterintuitive.
It is,
that
yeah.
you have to combat the
yeah, you got to stay calm. You got to remain calm.
Oh, dude. So because my voice is I do like it, but because sometimes my boyfriend just calls and he just wants to hear me talk because it like relaxes him, and I'm like, are you listening to me though?
Yeah.
Like I'm saying words at you, and he just likes it. But
it's like a meditation app, but
I
he's
know,
just calling.
But
you
it's like, bro,
instead.
I do stand up. I need people to laugh. I don't need them to be like, oh, cozy. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to like, So whenever this happens a lot, I see people yawn at my shows.
Yeah.
And I got real mad.
You think they're just getting relaxed?
Yeah. And I'm like, I need you to laugh at what I'm saying. I see so many people go, like they yawn. It makes me real mad.
Like,
and then
this is a
sometimes I
show.
yell at them.
This is like a sound bath in here. It's just
like a comedy show.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's great. I mean, who did you grow? Did you grow up with like both your parents or?
I did, yeah. They're still together. I grew up with both of them, and we were in Orange County my entire life. We hopped around within Orange County, but
You're
yeah.
Vietnamese?
So I just discovered this. I'm like Chinese Taiwanese.
Okay.
Like my parents were born in Taiwan, but I was like raised Chinese.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was told I was Chinese, but my parents were born in Taiwan. So now people are telling me I'm Taiwanese.
Okay.
I know that I'm Asian, and I
Yeah.
want that to come out on the record.
And you grew up in OC your whole life.
I grew up in OC my whole life,
Nice.
but so I feel, I feel very SoCal. You know?
I'm so not familiar with OC culture.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because you lived in LA for a while, right?
My whole life.
So-
I've literally been in this 3-mile radius my whole life.
Dude, you got to go 4 miles. You want to make me a promise?
It's like the Korean Truman Show.
There's a world outside of Koreatown.
No,
dude.
I go outside of Koreatown all the time. I've toured. I've been out because all my friends are constantly get out of K. I'm like, I go out of K Town.
Because OC has a cool Asian like spots and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's options there. But
Yeah, David Chang, the chef, was just here, and he's argued that there was better Asian food in OC than LA.
it's great. Like the
Yeah.
right spots. I need to explore it more. I mean, my mom's house. That's what I'm thinking is really good. But
Yeah, your parents are happily married.
they're married. Okay. I love my parents. They're still
Yeah.
together. They unfortunately taught me about commitment.
Mm.
They are so happy now, and I think it's because they're getting older. And I tell them all the time, whenever they start to bicker, I look at them and I go, "Just stop.
Mm.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
You're stuck with each other. This
Yeah.
is it. This is your end of days. Just why are you fighting?"
Yeah.
And now they're I've never seen them happier. They're in their 70s and they just, they love each other. Everything they know about each other, they know. Everything that annoys them about each other, they know it. They've experienced it. I'm like, just let go.
Yeah.
Just enjoy these last years.
So when you said that, they actually had a realization that they are truly stuck with each other.
I think it clicks with them and they laugh it off and they're just more giggly now and they're happily like retired now.
Mm-hmm.
But they did teach me about commitment because you gotta, I don't know, like I saw them just like not give up.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when they could have, like they were just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like they signed those marriage papers or whatever they are. And they were like, all right, this is so I respect that. Like I don't like to break promises to people.
Yeah.
So I saw their level of commitment and I unfortunately apply it to even little things.
Mm.
I hate bailing on a show.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though for you, producer, you're like, I could find someone, but still, like I told you I was going to do it.
No, me too. I hate flaking on a show
I
too.
hate it.
And sometimes like it has to be like
Something
it's
came
super
up.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, something came up where you're like, this is life or death for me. Like something came up. Or honestly, like a more crazy job happened or something. But like, even just like a hangout date. So I don't like when people do that to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you said you were going to come.
You're not flaky.
I don't like to flake. And not because I'm a good friend. It has nothing to do with my respect for my friendships. It's a me thing.
I feel like you have a good time outside of comedy because I'll check your IG stories and you'll be at like some pool party in Vegas going to a rave and were you like a big raver in your 20s and stuff or what?
So I started raving late in my life.
I don't know why, but that's so funny.
Because like I caught up to raving later, like my late 20s.
Yeah.
And I'm considering, Hard Summer.
Yeah.
I just saw the lineup today.
Yeah.
It's great. And I go every year. Have you ever gone?
Yeah, I've gone.
So I go like every year and I'm like, look, I'm going to be 37. I'm like, I got to stop. But then I saw the lineup and like now the group chat's like, come on, dude, let's go. So like I started raving later in life because I want to make the argument that music festivals and raving is good for your health. It's good. It could be good for your mental health.
Yeah.
Like you are probably outside in the daytime with your best friends.
Yeah.
And you're dancing to your favorite music.
Do you do more of an adult version of it now that you have some money to spend?
Now me and my friends are like, we only get VIP. Come on. I'm not doing GA.
No GA.
You'll never
for you.
see me in a GA line for the rest of my life.
I hope not. If you're going to start raving in adult life, you cannot go GA, all right?
And you know me, I'm a little bit of a rule follower. I will wait in line and I won't cut. Like I'll wait in line.
Yeah.
But maybe a little bit like if we have money to spend, like want the VIP. If we travel somewhere, we want a nice house. Because in my 20s, if I would crash someone's house going to a music festival, I'd sleep on the floor or whatever. But later in life, I started to see the appeal of it. Like, you get a whole weekend where it's like make believe.
Yeah.
A weekend of a music festival is not real life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just make believe. You're with your friends. It's like heaven.
That's good. You have a good work and play balance then.
It's a hardcore yin yang.
Yeah.
It's aggressive though.
You go
it's
hard.
It's aggressive, work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
So like if I'm during the week, I'm like focus, like comedy, write, get good sleep. And then if you see me Hard Summer Weekend,
yeah,
I'm letting loose.
Week after you got your plur beads on
Yeah.
stage. Your VIP wristband.
But did you ever do raves?
I mean, I used to go back in the day. I wasn't a heavy raver, but I used to go to a lot of hip hop shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to go to open mics, just rapping and freestyling and battling. I feel like there isn't a lot of that culture now.
Yeah.
I think comedy is great because there's still like open mic culture. There used to be a lot of that stuff for the music scene, and it doesn't really exist anymore.
In LA?
In LA, yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me. There should be thousands.
Maybe I'm too old now and I don't know the spots. That could happen. That could be the
honestly,
case.
probably.
That could be the case.
We're like, it's a shame there's no open mics now.
I honestly think there isn't many places. Also, freestyling is like kind of a dying art form. Like when I was growing up, I used to freestyle all the time. Kids used to freestyle. Used to be a beatboxer on the corner and all of that. Now, it truly is, I think, it has become more of a dying art form, sadly.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's no money in it, I think.
Damn.
And younger kids, I think kids now are thinking more about money and finances than we were when we were young.
That's good, I guess. But also, like, if you let that dictate all of your choices,
I know.
then what happens?
You miss out on a lot of fun, I think.
I know, but then also fun costs money. Because I was looking at Hard today, I was like, oh, am I gonna get a VIP ticket for this? And I'm like, how much is this? But it's worth it.
Fun, yeah. I
Fun
mean,
can be
is there
expensive.
what are some free fun things kids can do now?
Nothing. Because I get annoyed when I see these like little listicles. Like the other day, I saw one like 10 fun things you can do for free, and it's like, one of them was like go to a coffee shop. I'm like, what? You know what I mean? And it's like, go on this hike. I'm like, well, how are you gonna get to the hike?
Yeah, yeah.
Call an Uber?
Right.
Spend your gas money to drive to the mountain you don't live close by?
That's true.
Everything costs money.
There's like this, I guess, this number you can call, or this app called Nudge, and you just like put your number in, and every day like they give you a list of activities you can possibly do. Like they nudge you. I wanted to sign up for it so I can have more activities to do on a daily.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but then every activity they send, it's like that.
Costs money?
Yeah, it costs.
Or is the idea that it's like a cost-effective thing to do?
No, it's not a cost-effective thing.
Oh.
But they do tell you about like events that are happening in your city that day. Food festivals and. But I hate food festivals actually.
Oh, why?
Because you pay to get in, and then there's a line at every booth. You know what I mean? It's better to just go to the brick and mortar of the spot.
Oh, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of also like I'm big on purpose. Like I like a planned meal. Like what's the meal? If I go to a food festival, it's just like manic, samples and eating things that don't match and whatever. Like what's the protein, fat, fiber? Like what's happening?
But you don't mind big crowds and stuff, it seems like, because you go to raves and you're having a blast.
I like a crowd with a purpose. Like if for a rave, there has to be a crowd. You can't go to like an open mic rave where there's just like 4 of you guys like trying to like microdose stuff. I like a good crowd at a comedy club, obviously.
Yeah.
You have fun crowds at your monthly shows or
yeah,
monthly?
it feels like kind of younger and like people going to their like first stand-up show or something.
I know.
It has that energy.
Which like is sometimes good and bad because sometimes they're so excited it's their first show, but then some of them don't know how to like behave. So you never know.
Do you see that with like Asian stand-up audiences?
I find a lot of people, because I've been going on touring and going to different cities, and I like to meet people after the show.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, who likes me? Who are you guys? Like, so I meet them and I like interrogate them. And I'm like, do you go to comedy a lot? Like, what's your background with comedy? And some of them say like, this is my first show.
Yeah.
So some of them, it's exciting to say like, wow, like I got them to come to their first show.
That's great.
I got them to leave their house. And then sometimes I see people at their first show and they're not listening and they're taking photos and selfies.
Yep.
And I'm like,
They don't know the proper
you
etiquette.
don't know the protocol.
Yep.
What's the word?
Nunchi.
Nunchi.
Yeah.
I want hardcore nunchi with my people that come to shows. You better nunchi it
Yep.
the up.
Yeah.
Like look up how to be a good crowd member and be a good whatever.
You really do love rules.
I
and
love nunchi.
You're a teacher
Do you
when
have
you're on that
nunchi
stage.
merch or something?
No, I should get Nunchi merch.
Because I would rep that.
Yeah.
Because I like a little Law and Order. A
Yeah,
little
you really
like
do. I'm learning that. That's crazy. But now that you're not in a 9-to-5 job, is there anything you miss about that structure?
I love structure.
Okay.
Dude, I want people to know that I'm very fun,
Yeah.
but I love structure.
But do you miss anything about your 9-to-5 job now that you've been in this lifestyle for a couple months now?
The expectation of what the day would hold. I love looking, and I do this every day. I look at your week, your schedule, and you go, what's happening to me this week? So I weirdly I look at my day, and these are the meetings I'm going to have with these people, and here's the agenda.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm going to talk about with this person. I love the calmness of knowing what your day will look like. And I love the structure of like, these are the hours I'm reachable and here's where I'm not. And like that type of thing.
Yeah.
So I still want to keep that. And honestly, I love the lunch. A place like Netflix, if you've ever been.
What's the lunch situation like? Do they get paid for lunch, or do you got a cafeteria, or what?
It is a free buffet every day.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So it's like, a lot of these tech companies have that. And it's like, I know very well that it's all a scam. I know that these tech companies are like, we value and care for our employees and we just want to make sure it's like, you want me to not leave my desk. Okay. And guess what? It works on me.
Yeah.
So the free food, I loved it.
Yeah.
And there were so many snacks. And towards the end of my I'm gonna out them, but towards when I knew I was leaving Netflix, I started inviting my comic friends to come have lunch with me to
Yeah.
like, I wanted them to see my life and have a nice lunch. And I won't name names, but the Asian comics
Yeah.
that I invited for lunch took way more food than what is Nanjun, than what is proper. Like they took like a fourth meal.
Jesus.
And they were leaving in the elevator, and I could see snacks falling out of their pockets.
Fumi, what are you doing? No. Come on, Fumi. Andrew, I know who you are. Irene, I know who y'all are with the Tupperware.
I didn't say
For
I didn't
God's
say names,
sakes.
but I will say they're LA-based Asian
I
comedians.
didn't say the last names, all right, just
Okay.
for your safety.
It was like, but it was also the illusion of free food. When I see free food, I see money.
Yeah.
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 when you go to a free buffet, when you go to someone gives you a free sample, I don't see pigs in a blanket.
Hmm.
I see $20.
Yeah.
So then I put it in my
I used to love free school lunches when I was in middle school and high school.
Yeah, why not?
Lunch tickets and everything. And I dropped out of high school in 10th grade, but for months after dropping out, I would come back for lunch.
But how?
I would just hop back into the school for
You'd
lunch.
break into your own
Yeah,
school?
for lunch.
And then
I just
no
head
one
out.
saw you?
I head out. No.
What did the kids say? The kids would see you.
Yeah, because
Were they like,
I
"Good to see
also
you, dude.
I
How you
also
been?"
wanted to hang out with my friends. Like
Yeah.
after I dropped out, I was like, damn, I kind of miss my friends.
Dude, you like Shawshank Redemption. You're like, dude, I kind of miss it. Life on the outside is not.
I
so
know.
nice.
It's like what's that word when you get
Oh,
used to prison life?
something syndrome. Something syndrome.
Not Stockholm syndrome. It's
Stockholm
it's
syndrome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like maybe you like the structure of every day at 1 p.m. I'm having lunch with my friends.
Mm.
That's a nice structure.
Yeah. Do you feel like once you get like if you got like a Netflix special, it'd be like, you Netflix, I did it on my own, but you're grateful for their experience.
I will never say fucking Netflix. They gave me so much free food.
Me too. I love
And for the record,
Yeah.
love you, Ted. Thanks for everything.
I've
He
never
doesn't-
I've never shared my account even when I was allowed to do that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Because I obey the rules, and because I worked there for so long. When my friends complain about like they kicked me out of my family account and now I can't, I'm like, you know what? You need to pay for this content that we freaking hustle for. You don't know how hard these people work to make this content. They spend millions and billions on these content, and you don't want to shell out $10.
Were
honey?
your parents strict or what?
They
Were they
tr-
all about rules? And
They tried to be, and I think when they realized my brother and I would only listen to a degree, they kind of accepted it.
yeah.
But I also was like my mom told me this later, that I was pretty well behaved.
Okay.
So because I was already so well behaved, she didn't really have to
Yeah.
hammer down.
Were you one of
as
those
much.
kids like if you wanted to pursue comedy, you have to like you gave your parents a PowerPoint presentation like this is why it'll work.
So when I pursued comedy, they let me do it, even though I was like 30. They let me do it because I had my day job. I had a day job
Mm-hmm.
that paid me the salary that made them happy and comfortable.
Right.
They gave me the safety. So they were like, keep your job and do whatever the hell you want at night. I don't care what little hobby you have, but they never understood it because it's like I would go to these open mics at 1 a.m., a woman by myself in LA,
Mhm.
and they were like, they didn't love that. But they were like, are you going to your day job tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. Like, all right, do whatever. Walk the streets of LA. I don't
Yeah.
care. So,
You got to have that in your back pocket for sure.
yeah, it was I double hustled for them to feel safe with me, and then, but man, that free lunch, that kept me there for 6 years.
Yeah. Now you got to pay for your lunches.
It's terrible because I don't cook.
I don't either.
Do you cook?
I order out every day.
Do you have a Uber Eats account?
I do.
I don't even have an Uber Eats account.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like use my code.
No. Do you?
I was like, oh, one of those referral people. Jesus.
I'm not- But because also it's convenient to order out,
Yeah.
and I don't cook because I see that as like time I'm spending where I could spend that time elsewhere.
Can you cook though?
I don't think so. I hope it runs in my blood because my mom can.
No, I don't think it's something you can just naturally.
not hereditary?
Pick. No, it's not. You got to
What?
train yourself.
Because also, like, I don't know that Asian moms like have recipes Like I do ask my mom, like, Mom, you have to teach me how to cook this stuff before it's too late.
Yeah.
Because I can make like a banana peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah.
That's what I can make.
I feel
So
like
this
it
is
is
dire.
it is hard to learn from Asian parents because they don't have like measurements. They're like, oh yeah, 3 fingers.
Dude,
It's like, what?
no measurements.
Our finger sizes are different.
There's no cups. It's just like spoons and hands and ow, I just felt like putting that much garlic. I'm like, can you write this down? She's like, I don't have anything written down. It's all in here. I'm like, you have to write this down.
3/4 of a fingernail. That's how much soy sauce you put in
You
there.
just sigh 3 times.
You sigh 3 times.
Then after 3 sighs, that's how much oil. I'm like, what the hell, dude? I'm gonna starve.
Well, we have a segment where people call in, ask for advice. It's called Wisdom. And I'm going to have you chime in on this question over here. So do we have anything today?
Yes, we do.
All right.
Hell
Yeah, let's do it.
Hi, Dom. I have a Korean tiger mother-in-law, and she thinks a woman's career is in the home. In the past, I just kind of let it go, but now I have a daughter, and I don't want this idea to put value on her worth. How do you stand up to someone who has different fundamental values, but at the same time, you want to hold respect for your elders?
You want to chime in on that?
I would love to work in my home. Wait, that sounds amazing. Wait, what? Sorry, I just got so distracted.
Well, she doesn't want her daughter to live by those values that her Korean mother-in-law is instilling in her.
She should tell her daughter that's not her grandma.
Just lie. That I thought the same thing. I feel like just lie. Like you don't have to listen.
Yeah,
They're
just
old.
lie to your family. Just say it's not your grandma and that it's a crazy old Asian lady who won't leave her alone. But also it's like kids don't listen to their parents anyways,
Yeah.
right?
That's what I'm, no, I think it's a lot of Asian kids, they ask me the same thing about their parents and strict parents. I'm like, when did teenagers start listening to their parents?
Do young teenagers listen to their parents
I think
now?
more on the Asian side because we do have that whole respect your elders thing.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, me too. So I had a little bit of that while I was rebelling. But
And then look how we turned out.
Yeah.
Freaking
no, but I just feel like my whole thing with dad is like, you know, it's okay your parents or an older generation don't have the same values, you know, but you also don't got to like follow their lead. You know, like if you go to a family reunion or Thanksgiving, you got like a racist uncle, just let him be racist. You know, he's not
Yeah.
out there doing racist activities. He's an old dude in his crib.
Yeah, it's all about activities. It's when he does activities that's bad.
Then you got to check
You don't want him
him.
to do activities.
You can't have him going to
No,
rallies and
No.
but if he's being racist at the
In the
house,
comfort of your own home,
like he's
just
not
do it in the house.
he's harmless. He's not, you don't, I just, because I remember when a lot of you know, in the last few years, a lot of things were going on, Stop Asian Hate, BLM, and those young kids giving pamphlets to their parents and all of that. I'm like, it's a lot of work.
It's because I was gonna say the same thing. She's not gonna change her grandma's mind.
Mm.
So, but I do get the idea of like you just want their support and approval, and she's not gonna approve of a lifestyle that's outside. So maybe lie to the grandma. All my solutions involve lying.
Lie. I think a little lie is good in life in general. You got to lie sometimes.
I mean, I think Asians lie. Like Asians lie about like, you know, how sick they are.
Mm-hmm.
Like an Asian parent will lie and be like, I'm okay. Like not like they just don't want you to worry. So in the spirit of not letting your grandma worry, I mean also like do you live with your grandma?
Yeah.
Like does she watch you all the time?
Right.
Like maybe just anytime she's over, be home and like do home stuff. So whatever she sees, make it be home stuff. And then when she's not in sight,
Yeah. The great thing about old grandmas too, they're easy to lie to. They're very gullible.
see, that's great. That's great.
I think the movie Farewell was about lying to a grandma.
sure.
The whole
Exactly.
family lied to the grandma.
Exactly. The whole family did with honor and pride.
Yeah, and it
with
turned
the
out
best
great.
intentions.
Yeah, and it turned out great.
It turned out great. It turned out great.
It was a
for you.
happy ending, actually.
So lie with good intentions
Mhm.
to your family.
That's the advice.
Sorry.
Well, Leslie Lau, you got any tour dates coming up? Where can people check out your shows?
I do. They're all on the website, leslieliao.com. So all the tickets are there. Come out and I'm going to interrogate you after a show.
Now, are you doing like US dates right now? You're going to London.
I'm going to London in like a week and a half with the boyfriend.
Nice.
Have you been?
Wow. First time.
First trip.
First international trip.
First trip ever.
Wow.
Like first like flight, first like hotel
To make it
stuff,
or break
what I
it
mean?
right here.
I know, I'm ready.
You're
I'm ready for the pressure. Let's go.
That's going to be great.
But I
Good
need
luck.
London recommendations if people have any.
Yeah.
Coffee, dancing.
I've been there,
food.
but I can't even think of anything.
Sick.
I know the pubs are good.
I love a pub.
You love a good pub.
Hang at a pub, sure, for the energy.
Leslie Lau, check her website out for all the shows. Thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate
you.
you. Love you.
Thank you.
Tune in next week for another episode of Fun with Dumb, y'all. And join our Patreon. Peace.
Ninjin for life.
Nunchi.
Nunchi. Did I change it to Ninjin?
You started changing to Nunjin. I was like, who is that? What's the biggest lie you've told your parents? I could start. The biggest lie is that I was still in high school, because when I dropped out of high school in 10th grade, they didn't know for another 2 years that I dropped out.
Bro, this is a TV show idea.
It's crazy.
You should write this down.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know what if that could carry a whole
That's
season.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is such a phenomenon. Like we want to like make our parents proud. I want them to be proud. They work so hard for us to come here. So like, you know, and that's not a white lie. That's a big lie.
That's a big
so
ass
you
lie.
you had to also have props. You had to, you
I
had
had
your
the
backpack,
backpack,
and
yeah.
like a calculator and
I'd
probably
go-
fake homework.
Because I still have to wake up early.
and you still
I woke
you
up
might as well have
early.
still gone to school.
I woke up early to go
And then you
chill.
just walked around. So you woke up from 7 a.m. be like, bye, mom, I'm going to school. And then you had to walk around until 2 p.m.
I had to chill so hard all day.
Oh, what a hard life. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had to chill all day.
It's hard to figure out how to chill. I was like, okay, this is cool. I got to go chill over there,
But
chill
also,
over here.
as a kid, you have nowhere to chill. You're supposed to be in school.
That's what I'm saying.
You're not going to a friend's house. They're at school.
Exactly.
Your friend's parents can't know. So you're just loitering all day.
I was a fugitive all school throughout the whole school day. I'm a
Dude,
fugitive.
that is a TV show. Like, because it takes that idea of an Asian kid wanting to make their parents happy to an extreme.
Yeah.
So the life that you had to really have props and pretend and fill the time with something else.
It's like Ferris Bueller's Year Off.
Years.
Years off.
You said, what about graduation? What happened at graduation? Did you know, fake a
Oh
graduation?
no, I had to actually eventually tell them that I did drop out. I didn't get away with it fully, but it bought me another 2 years after. I couldn't go back to high school.
So it bought you 2 years to fake it. By the time you told them, were they like,
I was hoping by the time I told them I had something figured out, which I didn't.
right?
But
Because you were a child.
but I did tell them I'd go to community college and stuff. So I was in community college for another 6 years.
Which made them more like, okay, fine. He put in his time.
It didn't lead anywhere either, because the whole when people go to like high school and instead of going to like a 4-year university, they're like, I'm gonna go to community college for 2 years and then transfer. Like that's the whole thing
Oh, yeah,
people
yeah.
say they'll do,
Yeah.
but they never end up transferring and they're in like community college for years. That's what happened to me.
Isn't all colleges, it's all the same?
Where'd you go?
USC.
You did.
I went to USC.
What was your major?
Film.
Really?
I think that's pretty cool.
I love film.
Film school. Yeah.
I'm trying to make films.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think, I mean, even though I'm glad I went there, I don't know that you have to go to film school.
But how come you didn't end up like getting into directing or anything?
I don't know. I don't know how I turned out this way. I have no idea.
You went to an amazing film
I went
school.
to an amazing film school. It was great. And my parents were proud because they knew how prestigious it was.
Yeah.
They didn't know anything about film, but like they were like, all right, it sounds like a legit school. It was great. Like great, I watched like The Godfather in a theater,
Yeah.
which is a cool thing to like.
You are a great storyteller though on stage.
Oh, thanks.
So I feel
See,
like-
maybe that's where I use it.
Yeah.
Like I sprinkle. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the idea. There it is.
There
That
it
was
is.
worth $1 million education. Is to have a little freaking beginning, middle, and end in my stupid little joke about my bad date. So thanks, USC.
Your bits have 3 acts. The 3-act
Yeah.
structure. You're
Yeah.
good.
Um,
Have you lied? I mean, are you a good liar or?
So sadly, I am a good liar, and I
Mm.
don't know what that means. Maybe just like being a good actor. Like I could really like do well in if a surprise party. I could surprise my friend. Like I could keep it, but I think with my parents, like the big lie was drinking.
Mm.
because I started drinking when I was like 16, which also like there's a statute of limitations on this, right? I'm not gonna get in trouble.
No. You're not gonna get in trouble for that.
Okay. So when I was 16, I had a Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yep.
I'm not gonna get arrested
Those
for this.
Smirnoff days.
Yeah, I had Smirnoff Ice.
Yep.
Yeah, we did the whole thing. A lot of Malibu. So I drank. I would tell my parents I was gonna go study at a friend's house. So I brought the backpack.
Mm.
I wore sweatpants, what you would like, no makeup, but in the backpack was the outfit and the makeup
Yeah.
and whatever. And then I would go out to concerts with my friends, and then I would come back later, obviously have drinking, and I just would tell them that I didn't drink. But obviously, we can't lie about that
Yeah.
because I got Asian glow. So I would come in the home
So they knew.
bright red.
Yeah.
And they were like, where the were you? I was like studying at Mariah's house. And I was like swirling like a Mortal Kombat finish him, like full bright red face. And they were like, "Oh." So I think maybe they knew deep down, but they chose to just,
Yeah.
you know what, she's home safe. Let's just let this go.
That's good. Sometimes I'll test out like shocking news to my mom. Like I've done every drug under the sun.
Test out.
Well, like just to see what her reaction might be.
She's an old lady. Leave her alone. She just relax.
Like I've done every drug under the sun, but I'm not gonna tell her about every drug. But sometimes I'll be like, "Mom, I just did an 8-ball of coke," and she's like, "What?"
Wait, what are you
I'm like,
testing
"Just
out?"
kidding."
Wait.
When I actually did, you know, it's just like,
Your mom isn't an open mic for you to test out your I did this drug material.
I'm just curious to see what their reaction would be. Like I'm not doing all those drugs.
What
but
do you think it would be?
I just want to see if they're cool, if they're the cool mom or
You
the
know
cool
what?
dad.
Parents don't need to be cool.
That's true.
They don't need to be cool.
Yeah.
They need to be healthy and home and safe.
I
They
just
don't need
wanted
to be.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to see if my dad or mom would like reveal something about them, like, I used to do that in the '80s too, or something.
You know what?
You know?
But you know they did.
You think so?
Of course they did.
Hmm.
I think all of our parents were like raging. They were at whatever rave was back then.
That's true.
They had to have.
They had to have the fire drugs back then too, pure.
I have no idea. Yeah, what? Geez, well, I don't even know what it. Oh my God, yeah,
No.
real natural from the earth. But my parents, like, I don't want them to drink now. Like sometimes my mom, like, I let her have like a glass of wine and I get really nervous
Mm.
because they're so old and fragile.
Yeah,
I just want them to sit down, you know? So your parents don't need to be cool.
they can have a drink here or there. No,
No.
you're like the parent now. You're
Yeah.
their parents.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? Put that away. And I made them have water and go to bed early.
Yeah,
I want them to always be home and safe.
they've come to any of your shows.
They haven't.
Wow.
Well, not because they don't support it. They just they live in Orange County, and I get nervous of them like driving to LA and then going home so
You kind of have to
late.
set it up for them, right? Like you have
Yeah.
to accommodate all these things, make special arrangements.
I will for sure make special arrangements the time they see me, and I think the whole time I'm gonna worry about like, are they cold?
Yeah.
And like they're eating nachos. That makes me sad. You know, I want them to have a nice experience.
Yeah,
Honestly, they should come to one of your shows.
that could be good.
Sit in a nice booth. I'll get them nice.
You got to
Asian
give them
food.
like a Hollywood Bowl type experience, you know? They get their own little booth and table because
Well,
that's
that's
like
gonna
the
be-
grown
I know.
rave.
That's gonna be years. For now, I'm just doing, the Chuckle Hut little comedy club. So
You're
I'll see what I
killing
can
it
do.
though. LeslieLau.com.